into our YouTube channel as well. So again, this is Tony Procopio. I'm actually logging in from Standish, Maine, where we are up here on a heavy focus on community solar, which happens to be the topic of the day for us here with our info session. So have a very special guest who's on with us today. He's going to share a lot of information with us right out of the gate as far as what is going on with community solar. Like if you want to know what it is and how it works and all that good stuff, we have the person here to do that for you. So very excited about it. We're at the end of the month right now, getting ready to head into April, and things are exciting in community solar. I could not be more excited about this industry and just about this company within this industry and the positioning. Just really excited about it. Never seen anything like it. Been in this community solar space for 4 years, and I've never seen any group, company, or anyone set themselves up to take over this industry like Think Energy has. So without any further ado, I would love to introduce to you the Vice President of Community Solar with Think Energy. Now, he has a lot of experience in this sector. You guys get ready to take notes, because he is an excellent teacher. And I think he may be able to stick around and answer some questions for us at the end if there are any. But he may be just so good there may not be any questions. So appreciate you being here with us, Vice President of Community Solar with Think Energy, Steve Condon.
Great. Hello again, everybody. I'm Steve Condon, Vice President of Community Solar here at Think Energy. Tony has filled us all in on that. Thank you, Tony. Great to be here. So just high level, I give you a little background. I've been building my career in the solar space, renewable energy space, for the better part of 15 plus years. Had the opportunity and honor of contracting well over 500 solar projects, mostly rooftop residential customers. It was a while back. Got involved in a lot of asset management, data management, and the like, contracting municipalities, higher education, large industrial institutions, across the United States with the renewable energy agreements that save them money on their power bills. There's a theme here. And I'd say far and away the most fun has been the last 6 years of connecting, tens of thousands of residential customers to community solar across the nation here. And we'll get into the value of what all this means. Thank you, Tony. So let me fill you on a little bit of background. So what is community solar? Some of us may have never heard of this. Some of us may have had somebody knock on the door, if anybody's in Maine or any of these other states and has heard of it, but is kind of unsure on what's going on. But it's really quite simple. I mean, effectively, there's a big push across the country and in most states, and we'll talk about where that is, for basically solar developers to come out and build solar farms in our backyards. And our backyards may be miles away, it could be in our neighborhood, could be anywhere. But all over each state, solar farms are getting developed, and it's a couple of acres at a time. Once the projects get built and turn on, just like any energy generating plants, they send power into the grid. What's remarkable about community solar is that any individual who pays an electric bill can now subscribe to a portion of the solar farm, helping us green the lines around our streets, if you will, green the grid around them.
Or conceal another crime. I think that's a little bit confusing to people because they're trying to get their heads around what is even the first crime. And
All right, Steve, you should be able to unmute yourself now. I apologize. I had to get some background noise out.
That's all right, Tony. Yeah, so a little bit of an interruption there, no big deal. Let me give you a quicker bullet starting from the beginning so we're not all distracted here. But high level, solar developers go out and build solar farms all over the states that we live in and or that we have friends in all over the US. Solar farms generate clean energy. Once they're turned on, they start injecting clean energy into the local grid. I call it greening the lines around our distribution system, our streets, our homes, and all the like. Kind of a beautiful concept. The remarkable piece of this is that every individual within the state that we have solar farms operating can subscribe to a number of the solar panels or the generation that's created. And so what happens on the back end is, as you see reductions in your electric bill, effectively solar generation reduces what you owe to the utility company. and then you pay us at a discount, saving you money on your electric bill. And so we'll talk about some of the value here, but really kind of a simple concept. Solar energy project. So as you'd expect from the name, solar generates power when the sun's shining. It also produces power when the sun is not shining under cloudy weather. You'd be amazed how much generation actually comes out when it's raining. But the concept of solar generation, it does change with the season. So summer months, we see more sunshine hours, right? For us in New England, we're starting to come into the wonderful, beautiful, spring and summer days where days are getting longer and our generators are putting out more energy onto the grid. And then the winter months, there's less generation, just simply a product of sun hours. That's it. So it's really quite simple. Community solar, pros and cons. So pros of community solar, gosh, I could make a list of about 1 million different bullet points here, but the high level is save money. There's no cost to join into a solar farm. It's free. There's no sign up fee. There's no termination fees. You don't have to put solar on your roof. The solar developers that we work for own and operate projects out there in the fields and within the states that we have friends and that we live in. And so they've done all the hard work. They've put money up front and now they're able to give us a discount on our electric bills. So no sign up fees, no termination fees. If you're a renter, that's great. We welcome you. We encourage you. You should come join our solar farm, save money. If you're a homeowner, same thing. Come save money with us and help us green the grid around us. And if you're moving, guys, you can move that. You can bring your subscription with you. So it's unbelievably simple. The pros for the community, it kind of goes a little bit deeper. Like we sell a lot to residential customers saying, hey, help us green the lines around us and increase more renewable energy on the grid, but ultimately save money is kind of the primary pitch, right? And so what's fun to think about is that it actually increases significant amount of jobs within our community. So the more solar farms that are built within your state or your friend states around you, there's more jobs that are getting deployed locally, from construction to lawyers to contracts to me, to you, our Think Energy, and Think Plus network. We're increasing grid resiliency. The more renewable energy power that we have, the more battery systems we have, the more battery backup we have, and the less blackouts and lack of power that we have. We're supporting the development of local renewable energy, and it actually increases tax base locally as well. I like this one, Tony. This is a fun one. The cons, I don't know. Feel free to fire away and let me know. But I've been doing this for 15 years and 6 years with community solar. I've not found a con yet. And I've had a few people try and throw a few at me, and we've been able to turn that conversation around pretty quickly. So, so what I think is amazing, I think I mentioned, maybe I didn't mention, I joined the Think Energy team about a year ago, actually a year on the dot, almost to the day. And so, the point being that, the primary motivation being that I am confident that we have the biggest opportunity to basically connect the most amount of residential customers to solar farms across the nation. And so I still believe that 12 months later, I'll continue to believe that, and in 10 years as well. But we're so confident in that ability to have access to the most solar farms across the nation that if you enroll one of your customers, a referral, and we don't connect them to a farm within 12 months, then we'll pay them $50. And so we know that we've got a huge amount of farms coming down the road, and we know that a lot of farms are getting built, and we have a huge opportunity to share in savings and really do reduce electric bills for all of our customers. And we want to back that up with paying your customers and your referrals $50 if we don't connect them to a farm in 12 months. So our community solar states today. So let's see, we have the yellow ones are probably the most important. These are the ones that were open absolutely like today for Think Energy enrollments. So we've got Maine and New York that are active as we speak. If you type in a zip code from Maine and New York, you will, generally speaking, get an opportunity to sign up your friends and family and all of the rest of your network to community solar. And again, what does that mean? It means that they have basically savings for the next 20 years if they want to stick around and enjoy savings. Sign up for free, no rooftop, no investment, just sign up and see savings on your electric bill. Pretty remarkable. I would argue it's the most valuable commodity available in the energy market today. I think I've been saying that for a long time, and I've still not found another commodity that is this valuable. So we are seeing a pretty amazing thing happen here across the US. I kind of lightly touched on it earlier, but it's when I started about 6-7 years ago in community solar, there's only 2 states that we could really subscribe customers to, maybe 1 actually, I think shortly after it became 2. Now we're seeing 22 states that actually passed local legislation statewise. You know, the green all have active community solar programs. The orangey color has a you know, are the programs that are to come. So legislation is active, just not passed yet, and or we're waiting for program rules to get deployed. But this is a huge opportunity that's growing like wildfire all across the US, and we're active and open in Maine and New York, and in the next couple of months we're going to have a whole bunch more states on there as well. So so talking about the actual mechanics of this, so there's we'll give you guys an example here. I just want to point out that so solar credits are really they're discounts on they're really credits that get applied to your electric bill. And so solar generation, remember, solar farm gets built, any number of individuals subscribe to a solar farm that's out there in the field. Solar farm starts generating energy, injects it into the grid, and any of the subscribers who signed up, they get a portion of that energy that's generated as a discount on their electric bill. And so you'll see a line item that says $- on every month that the solar farm is generating, and that reduces what you owe to the utility. On the back end, you pay us for the solar credits received minus a discount. And so it varies by state. It's important to think state by state. So the more mature states have kind of, you know, different programs. As there's more projects that have been built, more people understand the concept, and often we'll get into how enrollment even gets a little bit simpler, and the billing as well on the back end. Whereas other states that are a little bit, you know, kind of newer, if you will, like Maine and various other states that we're operating in, you know, we're going to offer bigger discounts, and there's a reason for that. There's bigger value, bigger discounts, and all the like, but all is savings in the end, and sign up for free. Similar concept across the board. But let me just kind of walk you through the New York example. So, you know, customer utility bill on any given, just kind of you know, any given customer has a utility bill of 1,000 kilowatt hours. They pay 15 cents a kilowatt hour for their electricity, plus minus. I'm here in New Hampshire, I pay, gosh, I think I'm pushing about 32 cents right now. I don't know how all you feel about that. But the customer utility bill at 1,000 kilowatt hours and 15 cents a kilowatt hour, you know, for the charges for the utility, is effectively, you know, that's $150 for a utility bill that they receive in any given month. The customer solar credit, they see a line item that'll say, you know, we're matching up the kilowatt hours here. So they got 1,000 kilowatt hours in credits, but the value of the credit is a little bit less than the all-in rate. And so the value of the credit is $105. The customer subscription fee, that's what we're going to charge you effectively for, you know, the subscriber for signing up for our program, taking advantage of savings on their utility bill. We're going to charge you for a discounted value of the solar credit. So at a 5% discount in New York, which is typical, you got $105 of bill credits or solar credits, and we're going to charge you $99.75. It's a 5% discount on the solar credits received. So your customer utility payment is $144.75 versus the $150 that was originally shown, right? And you save $5.25. And again, what did you do? You signed up for free. You didn't put any money out of pocket. You know, there's no risk, and effectively you save money on your electric bill while helping us green the lines around your neighborhood. It's pretty remarkable. So same concept in Maine. There's you know, customer utility bill is $150, same amount of kilowatt hours, same rate. The customer solar credit is $135 in this case. So you can see it's a little bit higher. It's a less mature market, and there's a slightly higher bill credit that's taking place right now. Customer subscription fee, we're offering a 10% discount on the solar credits, meaning that we're going to charge you 90% of what you received on your electric bill. So customer utility payment, instead of the original, you know, $150 that you would have paid if you didn't subscribe to community solar, you now paid $136.50, saving yourself, you know, $13.50. So again, sign up for free, you know, renter, homeowner, it doesn't matter. No risk, nothing on your roof. Solar farms are generating energy, and we just need subscribers to take advantage of that discount. So New York is a phenomenal state. I think there's a slide coming up, so I'll try and bite my lip with all of the excitement that I want to spit out right now. But there is a huge amount of customers available in the state of New York. I think it's like 19 million, you know, 19 million individuals that live in the state of New York, and this is kind of broken out by the utility map and what the opportunity, you know, effectively is as electric customers go. So here's what I wanted to spit out real quick. Strongest commitment of any US state. So New York has this amazing commitment that beats any other state nationally. And so, you know, we have been building solar farms and wind farms and various other, you know, renewable energy and generation facilities in the state of New York for the last 10 years or so, and they have far and away the largest commitment of any other state that's out there. I'd say targeting 10 gigawatts of solar power, nobody knows what that means. So let me translate into somewhere in the nature of north of 2 million residential customers can take advantage, of the opportunity of subscribing to community solar and savings. It's just remarkable. And so let's see, the New York Community Solar. So New York is exciting. So again, I'm going to keep saying that over and over. So a huge population, huge commitment to renewables. What New York did is to coincide with their commitment to getting all this, renewable energy on the grid, built, and then subscribers, participating here. They created what we call a consolidated billing program. And it's a little bit different than every other state, where effectively it makes sign up easier. It feels like a retail energy product, if you will. So literally there's no dual billing, and I'll talk about that in Maine in a second, but it's just, you sign up by, you type in your zip code through our enrollment portal, you type in your account number, you type in your contact information, and hit go. And that's effectively it. So when you get your solar credits on your bill, once the solar farm goes live, you receive, your standard utility charges, just like usual. You see the line item for the solar credits received, and all you have to do is pay the utility company. You don't have to pay us, you don't have to pay anybody else. So it just feels like a normal utility transaction, just like we've all been used to for, as long as you all have been living and paying electric bills. Very simple savings identified with the utility itself. So we are pushing on in New York, again, open for enrollments. Our project opportunity continues to grow, literally monthly, but I would say, effectively we're signing up in National Grid, NYSEG, Central Hudson, RG&E, and ORU right now, Orange and Rockland, utilities. And we're pushing for somewhere in the nature of about 10,000 customers that we would take on overnight if anybody happens to have those in their back pocket. Easy sign up, immediate savings. It's get out there and sell, or share in the value is what I should really say. It sounds funny to say selling, because you're really just sharing the value that we have. So let me switch over to Maine for a second here. Maine's a little bit different. One smaller population. Don't get me wrong, super exciting. I live on the coast of New Hampshire, spend a lot of time in Maine, and I just love it up here. But equally amazing opportunities, just not as big a population, that's all. So CMP's got about 630,000 customers that are available for our signups. And then we've got Versant Bangor Hydro is another smaller utility, if you will, about 130,000 customers. And so we've got opportunities in both. And right now, as we speak, we're looking for somewhere in the nature of 4,000 plus residential customers in the state of Maine. I would say, monthly, we're looking for, we can see the chart here, it grows pretty quickly, but we have been achieving already somewhere in the nature of 200 customers a month, which has been phenomenal. Thank you to those who have been participating. And we're in need of bumping that up to 400, 500, 600, 700, 800 customers a month. We have a huge opportunity here in both Central Maine Power and Bangor Hydro District of Versant, if you will. So Maine is more like most other community solar states across the US. New York and Virginia are the first to actually pass consolidated billing. Most other states operate under what we call dual billing scenario. Don't be afraid of this. This is very simple. We all have kind of automated bills and all the like, but let me walk you through it. So similar concept as before, utility bill shows up, it's $120. You receive community solar credits of $100 as a line item on your electric bill. Again, see all your standard charges. And then you see a reduction in what you owe to the utility by $100 because that's what you saw for solar credits. You pay the utility $20 in this case. So on the flip side, when you've signed up for community solar, you've provided some form of payments. And so you're going to pay us for a discounted rate on the solar credit. So if you received $100 in credits, we offer you a 10% discount on those solar credits. That means we're going to charge you $90, saving you $10 in your electric bill. And so we're going to transact with you as call it a dual billing, a secondary bill. What we really do is just, we notify you as a customer or subscriber to say, hey, you received $100 last month, check your electric bill. You already got the benefit, right? You're not prepaying for anything. This is all in the back end, reducing what you owe to the utility. Now we're going to charge you at a discount for the solar credits received. And it all coincides with each other. It's all very straightforward. I describe it as signing up for, I listen to live music, I watch Netflix, not a lot, I've got kids, but not a lot of time for movies, but we all subscribe to various services where we do automatic transactions. The difference is that none of those transactions actually keep money in our pocket. This one does. So pretty exciting. So simplifying the customer experience. So here's gosh, like I joined Think Energy again, I'll say it a year ago, and I've gotten to know the team over the last 2.5, maybe even 3 years. And so the mission is just remarkable. So again, I call it retail energy 2.0. I don't know if I've said that to you, Tony, yet, but like it's really all about simplifying the customer experience, but at the same time, and I'll get into that here, at the same time, providing the best possible energy products for customers. It's green, it's fixed, it's predictable, and it creates energy savings, right? While effectively greening the grid, the lines around us, which is all remarkable. So my mission is well aligned with Think, and hence why I'm here. But really what we're trying to do to further simplify the customer experience and make things even better is I'd mentioned that there's only 2 states that have a consolidated bill today. All the rest of the rest of the states for community solar have a dual billing scenario. We're aiming to get approval from the public utilities in various states to combine the billing onto a single bill for our Think Energy customers. And that's unique for the Think Energy customers, where we want to add a line item for the community solar billing by leveraging our retail energy license. So we're taking that to, I think it's 4 or 5 states right out of the gate that we're working with right now as we speak. So that's Maine, Maryland, New Jersey, Illinois, and probably one Pennsylvania, I believe, as well. Massachusetts and Pennsylvania. Maybe there's 6. Put myself on the spot. But that is an approval process we're going to have to get with the public utilities. We want to make sure we do it right. We want to make sure it's smooth. We want to make sure it all goes well with the utilities and the public utilities. So state by state, we're not doing it today, but we are looking for approvals to do so. And you, as part of the network, will be the first ones to know when it gets approved in any given state.
That's fantastic, Steve. Steve, I look, we appreciate you sharing with us here, and I know we have some promotions as well. If we could, I'm just going to share my screen and just share some of the Think Plus specific promotions that we have here for community solar. And then if you're still able to stick around, there's some questions coming into chat. I've already had questions coming in on text as well. If we could get to those right after, if you have time to stick around.
Of course, I'm here. I'm here for the long haul, guys.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Let me see if I can get this this kind of shared here, if I have it correctly done. All right, can you see my screen as well that just changed, Steve?
Yep, sure can.
Okay, great. I'll just go through this if that's okay with you. So, yeah, guys, we have an incredible promotion here. I mean, we have an incredibly lucrative compensation plan, which you can find by looking at any of our videos. We have a 9-minute video. We have, we have overviews that we've done many, many times. So you can see those recorded. We're not going to get into the specific compensation here, full specific compensation, but there's a lot of money upfront and residually in community solar. And right now, there's a community solar launch promotion that goes through April 30th. And so from now until April 30th, so we have basically, I think we have 30 days and 31 if you count today. So if we have 31 days for people to go out, and during this time frame, you're actually going to get double the benefit of having customers. Like every time you put a community solar customer in, you're going to get double the personal customers and double the team customer counts for each one of those. So each one counts as 2, which means that as you're promoting up through our compensation plan, if you needed, 50 total team customers to get to the first rank of regional energy advisor when you join, now you only need 25 actual community solar customers. It actually cuts it in half. So when you think about how powerful this is to add community solar to what you're doing and to have it be on the right at the forefront of what you're doing, it's an amazing promotion that we have in place to allow people to rank up quickly, unlock levels of residual, and get promoted. And getting promoted is one of the reasons why this is so effective right now and why it's so important, is because if you get to director by the 18th of May, so everybody who joined, you have until the 18th of May to get to director. We have people who went director in 20 days. So there's plenty of time. There will be people who do it a lot faster than that. So there's plenty of time to do this and get to that rank. And now with the community solar aspect of this, you can get customers in those states. If you know people in Maine and New York, you'll be able to ramp yourself up and rank yourself up very quickly through the compensation plan and get on this trip with, Mike Falquist is going to be there. All the leaders from Think Energy are going to be there. I mean, it's just amazing that the field leaders will be there. you can bring people from your team there, just help them get to director. It's going to be at Club Med Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic, June 22nd to 25th. So I know there are a lot of people out there that are, dusting off their passports, making sure that they're up to date. You have plenty of time to get it. We've made this achievable. There are many people who've already achieved this trip in a very short period of time, and many more to come. So that's one of the things that we have going, I think. And then I wanted to share with you this as well. We have the main community solar promotion. Now, this promotion is over and above what's going on with Think Energy and with Think Plus. This comes from Think Big Partners LLC. So Think Big Partners LLC is myself, my business partners, Jim, Brendan, and Ed Kenny. We make up Think Big Partners LLC. We're the founding advisors of the Think Plus group here, of the Think Plus network. And so together, we came together and decided, let's put some of our money into this promotion as well, into the pool for people. So in the state of Maine, because we're highly focused on the state of Maine, and I think that's going to be our first question, Steve, when we come up at the end of this slide, and when I explain this, is that we're going to want to know why Maine is such a focal point right now. So sign up one customer, your first customer. You can do this today. You have until today. It ends today, tonight at midnight. Go get one customer. You're going to get another $20 on top of the normal $60 that you get in the state of Maine. Sign up a second one today. We have people that signed up. I think we had somebody that signed up 6 customers just yesterday. So sign up, the second customer, you're talking $30 on top of the normal $60. Now you just made $90 for that customer, and plus the 80 from before. Now you're up to 170. Go get 3 or more. And now you're adding another $40 to the regular 60. You're making $100 per customer. So got to get on the horse right now and get this done. We've got about 11 hours or so, something like that to go. We're excited about this promotion. It's been going for a little over a week, and whatever we can do. Now is the time. If you have people in the state of Maine that reach out to them today more than any other day. Like, no better day. Seize the day. That's what we're going to do. So carpe diem, seize the day. And then that'll bring us to our first question, Steve. So why did we run this promotion? Why are we running the community solar promotion? And why is Maine so strategic to us in what we're doing right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Maine, we just have a ton of going. So twofold. We have a lot going on in Maine. Maine, again, is a young market, so a lot of new projects are getting built, which is really exciting. But even more importantly for you guys, when you guys are out there talking to your friends and family and referrals and all the like, we have actual projects there's a couple of them that are built and sitting there ready to get turned on, just waiting for customers. So it's not all. For those of you who are new to community solar, typically the process is we sign up customers and we wait for the project to get built. We're in a unique opportunity here, where we actually have projects that are built sitting there in Maine, ready to go, just looking to fill it with customers. And that means that customers who sign up today immediately are going to be the first ones to get credits received on their bill and savings. And it'll happen. It's as fast as it could possibly be. It's effectively live projects sitting there ready to go. So it's really exciting for us because, again, typically there's a little bit more of a waiting period, and there won't be much here for those who sign up today.
Fantastic. All right. Love it. So got a couple questions here for you. This one is from Lee. So Lee wants to know, can a homeowner with solar panels join a community solar farm in New York or any other state that we are licensed in?
Yeah. So in New York, they have a hard and fast rule that you cannot join for both. So if you have solar on your roof, you cannot participate in community solar. And in most other states, it just varies, frankly. We can talk about them as one-offs. In some states you can, in other states you can't. And then there's reasons why. I'd say, if you have opportunities, let us know and we'll walk you through it.
Okay, fantastic. This one's from Steve in New York. Could you give us an idea of how overall cost savings compares between, say, rooftop solar and community solar in the long term? And that's kind of I'm not sure if that's something we can speak on in this or not, but if you have any insight into that, Steve, that would be great.
Yeah, I give you the high level. I mean, the real difference is that, the way I would describe it, and this is what I tell all my friends and family, is, look, if you can afford rooftop, if you can afford it, go for it. It's something that it works. It's great. It's a nice opportunity, right? But if it's most of my friends and family, I think most humans don't want to be burdened with putting a bunch of capital out of their pocket. And if someone's willing to go build a solar farm that actually brings more value to our grid than just the one rooftop project, then we can share in that benefit by letting someone else take on that risk, is what I would say. So that the real difference is that rooftop costs you money and then you wait for a return. So it is an investment, whereas community solar, it's just sign up for free and see immediate savings. So the return is just keeping money in your pocket, on day one.
Okay, great, fantastic, love it. This is also from Lee. Lee's doubling up on the questions before anybody else can get their first question in.
I love it.
Let's see. Someone had a question about where do solar panels go after they've reached their useful life? Like, do they contain toxic materials that leak into the soil? What's the whole deal there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a huge push for recycling programs. I mean, really globally, I'd say nationally, but it's globally, for the amount of solar that's getting out there and getting built. I would say like there's a couple different answers to that. So don't quote me on these numbers, but the last I had read was a little while back, but I think it's north of 90% of the materials can be recycled. Picture like most of this stuff is just glass and it's glass and copper and silver primarily, and aluminum. And so there's the silicon and the active parts as well that will take some processing and vetting out as well. But I also kind of throw in there that look, like when I started in the solar industry 15 plus years ago, my first month of jobs just to learn the industry was going out and basically testing old off-grid home rooftop projects that were operating for, I think the oldest one at the time was 15 years ago, was operating for about, I think it was like 38 years old, and it was still operating at we tested it out at 84% of original capacity. So it's a twofold answer. Is one, there's recycling programs to make sure that we're dealing with, waste and disposal and all of that, and making sure that it doesn't just go into the landfills. But two, like it's these panels, they don't die. Effectively glass fades, or fogs in it, and it makes a little bit less production over the life of the project or the panel itself. So I've taken off 20 and 30-year-old rooftop solar panels and put them on friends' houses, and they're still operating today at over 80% capacity.
Okay, fantastic. Here's another one. Is there a set amount per kilowatt hour for solar credits in each state? Like, is it fixed, or is it different in New York versus Maine? Any insight onto that?
It's a great question, and oh man, it gets complex. So New York is different than Maine, is different than Mass, is different than New Jersey, is different than Illinois, is different from everybody else. And so a lot of the rates, to simplify the answer, most of the credit value follows some form of power pricing, if you will. And so again, like going back to our old example, like Maine has a higher value of the bill credit because they're still doing what we call a net metering program, or remote net metering program in this case. So it's an actual full value of the kilowatt hour charges, transmission, distribution, supply, and all of the rest. And so in New York, it's more of a wholesale value, or maybe wholesale plus, I would call it. So it's got some value of the rack, wholesale value of power, capacity, and all of the like. But there's a calculation for each state that applies.
Okay, all right, great. So in New York, then, Steve, would it be safe to say that somebody's asking? Actually, Steve is asking Steve. Nice. In New York, is it okay to just say to somebody, you just get a credit added to your bill every month for basically raising your hand and helping to green the grid?
That's exactly what I would say. Yeah, I think I'm going to give you all types of complex answers, and I should stop doing that. But we could talk all day about the complexities. At the end of the day, yes, you sign up for free. There's no investment. There's no termination charges. I say, if you don't like saving, you can cancel, right? For free. And so, yeah, you sign up and you get a line item, your electric bill that saves you money on what you'd otherwise have paid to the utility. That's really it. It couldn't be any simpler.
Okay, great. Does a customer have to use a certain amount of kilowatt hours per year to qualify for solar?
Ooh, that's a great question. Some states have a minimum amount. Most of them don't, though. But I'd say like any customer north of 1,000 kilowatt hours, which is most customers, per year, certainly qualify. I don't remember which states, but there's one or two that I've seen historically that did have a minimum. I'd also say the caveat is that most of the states are moving to low to moderate income requirements as well. And so I think at some point those minimums will probably just go away if they still exist at all.
Okay, all right, great. And that's another question that came up that I got from text. Somebody asked me, could you ask Steve if he could tell us a little bit about what states to expect low and moderate income and or when?
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, this is exciting. It's like, so for me, it's really exciting. And I've been really excited to hear how excited the network has been about HEAP customers and low and moderate income opportunities. So I would say at high level, with the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act, every state is going to low and moderate income requirements, probably 50% of every project, plus minus 30 to 50%. So it's a huge opportunity. Specific states that have actual low income programs that exist today before the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act. So state specific programs are today, it's Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Virginia, Oregon, California, and so on and so forth. Probably a few I'm forgetting, New Mexico, and so on. So it's a huge driver, guys. We have more and more of a growing need for low income customers.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, the people who need it most, right? Let's get them on the farms. And is there going to be like a higher benefit then across the board in these states for low and moderate income? I mean, is that pretty much a general rule?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I jumped right over that. It's huge. Yeah, so typically, in the markets that are offering 5 and 10% discounts, as kind of standard market offers, we're usually seeing 15 to 20% for on solar credits received for LMI customers, low and moderate income customers. And so again, it'll vary by program, but huge savings, huge savings.
Wow, incredible. So this is the question that I'm surprised that it didn't come up like immediately right now, Steve, but it comes up every day, like just this morning with people. So I'm going to ask it, even though somebody didn't ask it specifically right now. And that is, okay, we're now, I think I asked you this maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago or something like that. But what are we looking at for time frame for additional states, and what would be the next 3 or 4 states that you think are going to open?
Nice. This call is recorded, so we'll see if my answer is the same as the last one. Someone can check me on it. But so we have a lot going on, everybody. Again, so my daily role is going out and finding new projects, and I love doing this as well because I just love selling to people and filling everybody in on the value that we bring. But so I've got, I would say, what did I say last time, Tony? If I had a crystal ball, and I do, and my crystal ball is very accurate. The states that are to come are going to be Massachusetts, Maryland, New Jersey, Illinois are probably the next 4 that I would say are very highly likely states to get deployed in the next few months. And then it expands like wildfire from there.
Okay. All right. And how about the state of Virginia? How does that looking for us? Because I know that's the other state that you said is the kind of just like New York with the utility billing, so to speak.
Yep. So Virginia, that's a great call. So I would say Virginia is definitely on that list as well. Probably it might be a little bit behind the other states that I had mentioned, I think. But it's funny, everybody. I say that one day, and then I wake up in the morning and go, whoops, we just got, a need for 10,000 customers in Virginia. So it changes quick, but my crystal ball says Virginia's on the list, maybe a little bit behind the others right now.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So then the question comes up. This is the next question that just got texted to me right now.
Nice.
All right. So Dan asked, if I sign up a customer right now in the state of New York, let's say, and they are on 5% savings, and then in the future, when low and moderate income rates become available, like they're not available, they're not available now. Is that correct for us?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So New York's just rolling out a new program. It's an extension of their low and moderate income program that they already ran a pilot, maybe a year or 2 ago. They're running out they're rolling out the extension of that program. And so low and moderate income customers will be available to us very soon. I would say next couple of months. And so I think to get at the heart of the question, it's our plan, our intent, our plan is that I'm encouraging everybody to sign up. Don't wait for community solar today at the 5% discount. What we'll do is once we have an opportunity to increase that discount for LMI customers, low and moderate income customers, we're going to run a drip campaign and actual, outreach to every customer who's already signed up to say, hey, you signed up for a 5% discount. There may be an opportunity if you're eligible for, call it one of 5 check boxes that you can check to make you eligible for an LMI increased discount. And so we'll be engaging everybody who signs up today to make sure that everybody gets their best opportunity to take advantage of the most savings.
Nice. So we're going to actually be contacting those customers to say, hey, we want to give you more money.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
exactly right, Tony. I know, it's funny, I keep saying sell, sell. I'm going, we're not really, it's just the weirdest sale, right? We're just giving away money. It's pretty phenomenal.
I like it. I like it. All right. It looks like we're led to the last question. So the last question here is, this is a Maine specific question, I believe. So how does a customer know how much their card will be charged each month? Okay. And it's kind of like, is there a situation where it'd be like, you know, smaller, like huge payments at certain times of the year? Or, you know, how does that work from the customer's perspective?
That's a great question. Yeah, so basically it's how our process will be, that how the customer knows is that, one, I want to reiterate that bill credits, solar credits will be, you know, received on your electric bill before we charge you for the discounted value. So you always have, before we charge you, you have always paid less to the utility first. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that the value is always in your hands first, the customer hands first, which is really important to think about. So shortly after you get a utility bill from the utility, we have all the utility data on what was applied to your electric bill for solar credit. So you receive your electric bill, you know, call it within, you know, maybe 2 weeks or so of you receiving that bill. You'll get a notification from us at Think Energy that says, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you received your electric bill from you know, Central Maine Power in Maine. It was reduced by $100 in bill credits, right? And so we're going to notify you of what you received after you already gained the benefit of it. You can check your utility bill, and then we're going to notify you to say, hey, we're going to transact with you and charge your card in, call it 5 days, right, for 90% of that value. And so it's again, like, to reiterate, you've already gained the value, you've already reduced your electric bill. We can't take that back, right? And that's on your bill, it's yours. And then we notify you shortly thereafter, you know, and then you have a couple of days to make sure that you like what you're seeing.
Fantastic. That really answers it. I mean, that makes it, I like the way you put that, you know, you're going to pay a reduced electric bill, which you would have paid a full electric bill right at the beginning. Now you're paying a reduced electric bill, and then you're paying for the remainder of it minus the discount. So
That's right.
It's kind of like, it doesn't really change much for you, except that you're just breaking it up into 2 payments for now, so okay, last question, part 2. What do you see as far as time frame for, say, the state of Maine or other states, you know, to get to work with the public utility commissions and maybe get to the point where it is a discount right on the bill, kind of like New York is? Where do you see, like, other states down the road fitting in as far as time frame?
Yeah, so I'd say, so we had mentioned that I'd show you guys the slide where we're looking to make any Think Energy customers, you know, basically get the benefit of a consolidated bill before any other states actually rolled anything out, right? And so that's the benefit that we would bring to the table, that we're looking to get approval from each state, each public utility, each utility, state by state. So you know, my crystal ball is not as accurate for this one, but I would say, like, knock on wood, cross your fingers, you know, do 3 circles. I'm hoping to have one state of the 4 or 5 that I listed give us some form of approval by the end of the year. And I've got very high hopes. Don't quote me on this, but I've got very high hopes for Maine, Illinois, and Maryland are like the 3 top of my, you know, hoping to get approvals, you know, by the end of the year. So, but again, I just want to reiterate, that's not done today. It's gonna be a process. And it's just, you know, there's logic as to why we should gain approval pretty quickly, but there's not always logic in working with public utilities and utilities.
All right. Well, Steve, look, we appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy getting out there and finding all these farms for us, and we appreciate you doing it and opening up these markets earlier than we thought. I mean, it's amazing, you know, we announced New York, and then, oh, Orange and Rockland is going to come in New York, maybe, you know, a few months down the road. And it was like 2 weeks later, here we are in Orange and Rockland. So, you know, I've experienced that, you know, here at Think, and I've experienced it in the sector before. So yeah, it's like everybody has to stay tuned and stay up to date, because this is a fast moving industry. So Steve, I want to thank you for your time today. We really appreciate you taking the time to do this and explain it so clearly. And I had a lot of people in the chat thanking you for the clear explanation on the questions.
Great. My pleasure, everybody. Just remember, the more we get in Maine today, the faster people get solar credits, and every other state, frankly, too. So thanks for having me.
All right.
Doing this. Good to see you, Tony.
Fantastic. We'll be seeing if we can bring you into some of our live events next week and weeks after that as we focus on Maine here, and the leadership is up in the state of Maine over the month of April. So you guys, if stay tuned, and you'll be able to meet Steve face to face and shake his hand. So again, Steve, thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right, everybody, take care. We're going to get this recorded and posted on behalf of Think Plus and Steve Condon. This is Tony Procopio. Over and out. Everybody have a great day. We'll talk soon.